Hello everybody, and welcome to another Vintage Cube Draft. We have a medium pack to start. There's no power and no broken blue cards. Click is solid, but not a card I'm thrilled about first picking. Grim Monolith is good, and in the same Grim Monolith deck, Mishra's Workshop is good. But if I could take them both, maybe I would do that, but I don't think we take one and pass the other. Karn is fine, and then there's Grave Titan, but I think it's a pretty clear strip mine here. This card is excellent. It goes into any deck. It's at its best in mono red or mono white. Also very good in mono green. Very good in sort of Ren and 6, Knight of the Reliquary, Ponza decks. And you can even play it in just like blue eye control. Yeah, really good pickup there. Okay. Not a great pack to follow it up. There's no aggressive cards particularly. Dismember is good. Probe goes into pretty much any deck. And then there's like Tundra and Glen. I think I like taking the Tundra here. It leaves us open. We can go in blue-white control. We could also be like a white aggro deck that splashes blue for like Time Walk, Geist of Saint Traft, a couple powerful cards like that. So that just helps us to stay open. If we wanted to like encourage aggressive decks, I guess we could just take Dismember, but that seems pretty weak. So let's just take the Tundra and see what appears to be open. Alright, third pick Swords of Plowshares is nice. There's also Breeding Pool and Temple Garden, so good ways to make Naya mana. Upheaval is good with Grim Monolith. Intrepid Adversary is fine, but pretty easy Swords of Plowshares, I think. This is a really good card in blue-white control, some sort of tempo deck, really just whatever we're trying to do. Swords of Plowshares will be good. Okay, now I think we just take the Factor Fiction and go sort of more blue-white control. There's Restoration Angel, Rifter and Cloudskate, Orzhov Signet. Resto and Cloudskate are good together, but there's a fourth pick Factor Fiction. This is really good card draw. I think this is where we should be. Yeah, let's take that. Okay, now we get Narset, Silverblade Paladin, Layla, and then a couple lands. And I think we just want to take the Marsh Flats here. It can grab Tundra, so it already fixes for blue and white, and then if we end up in Esper or something else, it'll help us even more. Layla is so good, it's not an unreasonable consideration to just take this and splash it in the Jeskai deck, but I think it's still better to take the Marsh Flats here. Now we have a couple interesting options. There's a couple good blue cards. We have Marsh Flats to help with the Scarab God. And then there's Mana Tithe, and then we can also just take a land. I think I like just taking the Mana Tithe, though. This is very good interaction. You can be in a spot, like if you have Tithe, Spell Pierce, Daze, and Miscalculation, you can be in a spot where you have a bunch of cards that are just like underpowered counter magic in the late game, and it really dilutes the power of your top decks. So that's something to be somewhat aware of, but still, just having the card Mana Tithe is definitely going to be good. So let's take that. It's in particular good with the Strip Mine. Ooh, now we get Ashiok. All right. That's a late Ashiok. Also Student of Warfare, so we could go the white aggro direction, but super late Scarab God is not something I'm going to pass up on. Now we can take Elspeth Conquers Death. That's pretty excellent. Cathal Commando's there, Wheel of Misfortune. So the aggro lane is an option as well, but I think the start lends itself better to Elspeth Conquers Death. Now we take Fumigate. All three of these would have been pretty good, but this looks like it's a pretty controlling deck, and we really want to have some board sweepers, so we will take that pretty happily. So we passed the Scarab God. I would be a little bit surprised to see that come around, but it would be nice if it did. Blue is not looking super open. We sort of have a bunch of white controlling cards and then a couple blue cards. Factor Fiction is perfect for the stack because we might not end up with double blue could be tough depending on how the final mana base looks. But Factor Fiction is very easy to cast even if we're not heavy blue. And then Ashiok is just great. If you can go like turn 1, Mana Tithe your play, turn 2 Swords of Plowshares, turn 3 Ashiok, that's just broken. Like a lot of decks just lose to that. Okay, here we can take Basalt Monolith. I don't think this is a Cemetery Protector deck, really. I mean, this card's fine, but it's not amazing. Yeah, let's take the Monolith. It's not amazing yet, but if we get a couple 6-drops, Elspeth Sun's Champion, Consecrated Sphinx, stuff like that, then this card can be pretty nice. Ooh, late Shattered Sanctum. That is a good pickup for the Ashiok. Torrential Gearhulk. Is this good? I think it is the pick here. It's not like, so it's very good with Fact or Fiction, and it's decent with Swords to Plowshares. So I think that could be enough. I mean, if we get, it's a good amount through pack 1. If we get nothing else, we won't play it. But if we get Mystic Confluence, Cryptic Command, Ancestral Recall, certainly, anything like that, then Gearhulk becomes a lot better. Now we'll take Silverblade Paladin, Adeline, Student of Warfare. Okay, well, Mono White aggro is the most open lane, unsurprisingly, but I think this will be more powerful if we end up, I just think this will be more powerful most of the time. Okay, here we have a couple interesting options. Elspeth is a solid Planeswalker. Lingering Souls could be good if we actually have the consistent black mana. Signet, Duress, but I think I like just taking the Mana Vault here. Yeah, let's go with that. With both Mana Vault and Basalt Monolith, we can take stuff like Karn much more highly. This is at its absolute best with things like 5 mana Teferi. Interesting pack. There's a lot of good white cards, but I kind of like taking the Baleful Strix here and then wheeling one of the white cards, because they're almost definitely going to come around. Yeah, let's take the Strix. We're not that heavy into white, or into black, or blue, but I don't think we need to spend early picks on white cards, really. We'll be able to get the white wheels, and really heavy black Esper is not great, but more balanced Esper, I think, is a pretty good archetype. Okay, here we have Verdant Catacombs, which doesn't help us yet, but could. Consecrated Sphinx, Suspicious Stowaway, maybe into Torok, but I think I like just taking the Sphinx here. With both Mana Vault and Basalt Monolith, we have ways to accelerate into it pretty quickly. Yeah, let's take this. I generally like Consecrated Sphinx decently more than Torrential Gearhulk, although they could both be playable potentially. Alright, pretty easy Watery Grave here. That's a great pickup. Inspired Idea is good as well, but this really helps to solidify the mana. I don't expect Inspired Idea to come around, so we're probably not getting anything from this pack, but still pretty good to get a late fetchable land. Now we have both blue fetchable lands, so any fetched land is going to be very good for us. Now we get Portend versus Spell Pierce. Also, Archon of Cruelty is somewhat interesting with the Mana Vault and Monolith, but I think I'd rather take one of these blue 1-mana spells. We should probably take the Spell Pierce. I know I said earlier that you can run into the problem of having too many Mana Tide Spell Pierce effects, but the second one is still good, and yeah, that's just really good interaction for early plays. What do we want here? There's Hullbreaker Horror, which is good, but we already have a lot of top end. Alternatively, we could just take Relic of Progenitus, which is a decent sideboard card. But I think I like taking the Hullbreaker here. Excuse me. This card is pretty strong. Yeah, let's take the Horror here. We have a lot of top end, but that's okay. We're going to play all slow decks and just be better at grinding than everyone. Now we get Shriekmaw. That's a very good pickup. Ooh, wow, this is a close one. Disenchant, Signet, Deluge, and Dark Confidant are all very good cards. I kind of want to take the Memory Deluge. Dark Confidant's a bit of a liability with so many expensive cards. We do have a lot of top end, but we don't have that much card draw. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Deluge here. It is close. I wouldn't fault someone for taking the Signet in particular, but I think this is where we should be. Okay, a lot of good late wheels. I think I like Lingering Souls a bit better than Elspeth here. Elspeth is good, but Lingering Souls is just very, very strong in a lot of matchups. Yeah, let's go with this. The second is looking sweet. The mana fixing is medium. Ooh, okay, we wheeled all the cards that we were considering. What's better? Containment Priest is not as good as Gideon or Council's Judgment. So do we want Judgment or Gideon? I think we want the Council's Judgment here. I do love Gideon, but we don't have any clean answers to Planeswalkers yet, and this is very good at doing that. Alright, nothing here. We have 3 red cards, or really 4 red cards and a green card. I guess we'll take Beaumont Courier. I mean, yeah, none of these are making the cut. Sundown Pass, I guess. Thraben Inspector might be good enough. Sun Gold Sentinels, and okay, sideboard card, and last pick, Rabble Master. Okay. This deck is looking pretty good. I wouldn't mind a few cantrips to increase consistency. There's a Preordain, and I think that is just a pick. I guess actually Scrubland is also pretty good. Yeah, it's Preordain and Scrubland for sure. Karna's fine, Muldrifter's fine, but I think I do like these better. And honestly, we should probably take the Scrubland. We don't have a black-white fetchable land yet. Preordain's good, but just having your mana perfect is such a huge win, especially in a 3-color deck. Yeah, let's take the Scrubland. I don't think Preordain comes around. I guess there's a chance Scrubland could, but I don't think it's that likely. Yeah, let's just take the good fixing. Nice. Now we get to Fairy. That's excellent. Force of Negation is good as well. Phyrexian Metamorph is fine. Bloodchief's Thirst. But, yeah, we're definitely taking the Teferi here. This is an excellent pickup. Yeah, we'll snag this Teferi very happily. Oh, I have a weird love of decks that can go turn 2 Wrenn and 6, turn 3 Teferi, but this is not that deck. We could take Chrome Mox, or Ravenous Chupacabra, or Shark Typhoon. And I kind of like taking the Typhoon here, I think. Although maybe it's just the Mox. We have a decent... yeah, probably Chrome Mox is the better pick, actually. Accelerating into Teferi or Ashiok is pretty strong. We already have a lot of top end. Although we might need to cut this Torrential Gearhulk, which does make our top end a bit weaker. Maybe it is the Shark. Yeah, let's take the Shark Typhoon, actually. I really do like this card, especially against control decks. Ooh, 2 Wraths and a Shipwreck Marsh. I think we take the Shipwreck Marsh here and try and wheel one of the Wraths. If they both get taken, I will be sad. We have one... So here's the deal. If we didn't have one Wrath, it would be unacceptable, the risk of not having one, and we would need to take one. Given that we already have one, I would prefer to have 2, for sure. But I think we can afford to take the land here and then wheel one... And then probably still wheel one of the Wraths, and in the unfortunate and unlikely event that they both get taken, at least we have the one. Yeah, we'll take the Shipwreck Marsh. Nice. Now we get a Bribery. This card is excellent. Oust is also good, but I'm not going to pass the Bribery here. This is... Oh, whoa. This is... Ooh, 3rd time's the charm. There we go. This card is just great. Now we get Gideon and Vindicate. I think they're both a bit better than Venture or Gonti, although those are good as well. I think I like just taking the Gideon here. Vindicate should come around. Gideon could come around too. But I think I'm still want to take the Gideon here. This is one of the best white cards in the whole format. Yeah, let's take this card. We can also play it on turn 2 off of Mana Vault. This deck is looking sweet. This pack is pretty bad for us, though. A lot of green cards. 4 green cards. Let's take Seasoned Hellblade as a blocker against aggro. Not a very good pack for us, though. We're probably going to want to play 18 lands with Strip Mine. So we don't need that many more spells. There's a Yorion. Is Yorion good at all for this deck? I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't seem that good. Giver of Runes isn't that good. Let's just take Ravagers of War. Good sideboard card. It's definitely not a main deck card for this sort of deck, but against people that are not expecting it at all, it could give us some good value. Now we have Elite Spellbinder as a solid card versus Lyra as a card that is game-ending in some matchups. I think I'd rather have the really good sideboard card than the decent main deck card. Since I'm not too worried about getting enough playables here. We only need one more spell. And we could run it even if we didn't get one more spell. I don't think... Torrential Gearhulk really never got there. We didn't get much that made that better at all, but we could play Lyra in the main deck if we really needed to. Okay, Bloodchief's Thirst or Palace Jailer? I think we just want to take the Bloodchief's Thirst here. Palace Jailer is very, very good sometimes, but this deck isn't that good at retaining the Monarchy. We don't have that many cheap creatures. We don't have that much instant speed spot removal. And Bloodchief's Thirst is a genuinely very good card. Now we get Vryn Wingmare to bolster the Storm matchup. There is also Crucible Strip Mine, but that's a little too narrow. It really only works with 2 lands that we have. Actually, I guess we'll take the Crucible, but not main deck it. Nice, Wrath of God came around. That's excellent. Alright, I think at this point we can maybe cut the Basalt Monolith. Whoa, Oust on the Wheel. That's a really good pickup. Grim Monolith is still worth it, but Basalt Monolith is quite a bit worse. Thraben Inspector is cuttable potentially. It's just like it just doesn't do that much for this deck. It's not bad. Okay, Vindicate's a great pickup. We definitely want to play that. I want the card draw. I want both sweepers. I think I want all this top end, so let's cut the Thraben Inspector. And then we could maybe run 17 lands, but we probably should be disciplined and find a way to add one more. Wait, did I actually cut the wrong card? Oh, Mana Vault. Yeah, we definitely want the Mana Vault. Well, let's see how the colored mana situation looks if we were to try to run it like this. So for blue, we have 10. For white, we have 11. And for black, we have 5. So solidly blue-white. This gives us for blue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, but not great. Although most of our blue is top end. For black, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not great, but we don't have that many black spells. Actually, yeah, that seems fine for this amount of black. And then for white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We probably need one more plains. And what is the last cut? Maybe Hullbreaker Horror. And then we bring that in against control. Yeah, that seems good. We'll run it like this. See you in round 1. Alright, we have our round 1 opponent with our sweet Esper control deck. We're going for trophy number 30 right now, which would put us into 2nd place on the leaderboard. And it would also be, I believe, my 7th trophy with Esper. It's been by far my most successful color combination, so hopefully that continues with this draft. Good start. No white mana, but we have Bloodchief's Thirst for their 1-drop into turn 3 Ashiok on the play, which is pretty good. Then if we draw any land, we have Factor Fiction. If we draw white land, we have Teferi. If we draw like only double white spells, then I guess we'll be in bad shape, but that's not that likely. Let's just immediately kill this Hex Drinker before any shenanigans occur. Well, just said I didn't want to draw a double white card, then immediately drew it. That is pretty fun. We're playing 18 lands, so we're pretty likely to be able to draw out of this. Sylvan Caryatid. Alright, that does not pressure our Ashiok. That at least gives us Factor Fiction next turn, so we can go Mana Vault into Factor Fiction and hit some white mana that way. And then potentially even bounce the Mana Vault back to our hand with the Teferi. Okay, looks like it's a base green deck. Oh, this could be Natural Order. Oh, Toski. That's really slow. Another blue source. Alright. I think we just want to plus and then pass and hold up Factor Fiction. We could put Birds of Paradise into play. Actually, let's do that. I think Birds of Paradise would be really good here. It adds white mana for us. And like an extra Ashiok plus isn't that big of a deal when they still have 27 cards. They hit us for 1. I'm not going to block, so they get to draw a card. Walking Ballista for 2. Okay, that's a little annoying. They kill our Birds of Paradise. I mean, it's a little bit annoying, but for all the things they could have here, it's not too bad. We're still in a really good position. We can Factor Fiction. We have a couple board sweepers we could hit. We didn't hit a board sweeper, but we did hit a bunch of good lands. We're definitely taking the 3 pile if this is how they split it. Because we want the white lands. I mean, the way that they're doing this makes it seem like Spell Pierce could be good against them, but it immediately becomes much worse if they know about it. So, pretty easy bottom pile here. Shriekmaw actually kills none of their creatures for all different reasons. Hexproof, Indestructible, Artifact, which is sort of funny, but it'll kill their next creature. Like, it should still be a good card. So we'll take the 3 pile. Oh, I guess we could kill the Finhorn Elves, but that's fine. So we untap. Oust is an interesting draw. We could oust the Toski. Here's what we think we should do, actually. Let's go land, island, mana vault. I think we should go hardcast Shriekmaw on the Finhorn Elves and then oust the Toski, and then next turn we play Teferi to pick up the mana vault and replay it. Also, wait, what did we hit off this? Circle of Dreams, Druid, and just more forests, okay? So oust here. Shriekmaw and pass. Now the Shriekmaw means they can't attack with the Walking Ballista, and this also puts them back down on mana. We want to make sure that we avoid a situation where Craterhoof Behemoth just wins, if possible. We have Council Judgment to deal with. This is Who Shakes the World or any problematic things they might have here. Six mana, what is this? Primeval Titan? Garruk Wildspeaker, untap 2 lands, play something, I guess. Oh, just put a counter on Ballista, sure. So we're going to say no for this. Draw another land, not exactly what we wanted. Let's attack Garruk for 3. And if they trade, that's fine, and if Garruk takes it, that's also fine. Okay, Garruk's down to 1. We'll plus Ashiok, which will take their Toski. Also Primeval Titan. Okay, that's a good one. And then Skull Clamp, alright. Then we go... We could just go Land Council's Judgment. But I think it's fine to just play Teferi this turn. Get the card draw going. Pick up the Mana Vault. They can kill our Teferi, but that's fine. I don't think he's a necessary card in this matchup. Okay, drawing another land there is quite bad, of course. We are playing 18 lands there, so we can't be too surprised. That's what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 lands down. So we've gone through half our lands, have half remaining. Uro is fine. They can level up their Ballista. Yep, that's fine. But if they attack, then they need to shoot our Shriekmaw, or else we can attack their Garruk for lethal with a Shriekmaw, because they cannot block with a Caryatid. Okay, they kill Teferi. Consecrated Sphinx, very good draw. So let's start by attacking at Garruk. You can either lose your Garruk or your Walking Ballista. They choose to lose the Walking Ballista, fair enough. Now I think we should go Council Judgment plus Consecrated Sphinx here. Take out their Garruk, put them down to low permanence. We'll plus this. We hit Elder Gargaroth, plus Elvish Mystic, and then a Forest. So we go land, Council's Judgment. And Consecrated Sphinx. Pass. Next turn we could put Primeval Titan or Elder Gargaroth into play if we want to, or just keep on plussing the Ashiok. If they get one more card into the yard, then they can escape Uro, but that's not that good, especially when we have Consecrated Sphinx in play. Fact or Fiction, okay. They can escape Uro now. Whoa, okay. Eternal Witness is scary with Time Walk, of course. How does it look if we do this? I think this is fine. I don't want to give them Time Walk and Eternal Witness. If we do this, if they can take the top pile and escape Uro this turn, and then next turn play Time Walk. Yeah, I think this is the best way to split it. Okay, they keep the 2 cards. Play Time Walk, then untap and play Tavalar's Huntmaster. And then we can play Memory Deluge, digging for Wrath of God. The thing that's scary here is Craterhoof Behemoth. But we get to get 2 more looks for Wrath. Okay, no Wrath, but we do find Bribery. Okay, they escape Uro, which lets us draw 2 more cards. We are getting quite a hand here. Strip Mine is a good one. Okay, Cultivate. So if they actually get lands here, they're basically out of cards in library. Okay, yeah, they just concede. So what are their win conditions here? They don't have Craterhoof that we've seen, like Primetime, Elder Gargaroth, stuff like that. Seems fine. Toski's okay against us, but not amazing. We have Oust, Swords of Plowshares. What do we want to change here? I think I like the Lyra. Don't think we need either of these. Yeah, none of that stuff seems necessary. What do we not want? We could cut a land on the draw. You know, I'm actually going to just cut the Strip Mine, I think. They have a huge mana advantage because they have ramp and we don't. So I think... And they don't seem to have, like, that sketchy mana. They're not playing, like, man lands. I guess they did have Gaia's Cradle. But I think we'd rather fight Gaia's Cradle with Board Sweepers. I guess we could cut Shark Typhoon, potentially. But it's good for pressuring their Planeswalkers. Yeah, I think let's just run it back like this. This isn't really a Strip Mine matchup. Okay, this hand seems good. We have all our colors. We have Shriekmaw to kill a mana dude. We can cycle Shark Typhoon to try and hit a second white source for the Wrath of God. Lingering Souls is just a good card against them because they don't have great ways to deal with flyers. No 1-drop, alright. We have double Board Sweeper. I am going to play this just in case we draw Mana Tithe or something and we want to have white mana this turn. If we'd seen Wasteland, then I don't think I would do this, but we did not. Okay, good thing we have an answer to this. That card is very scary. And Tundra was maybe the best draw on the deck. Gave us the double blue and the double white that we needed. Green Suns for 2 to get Sylvan Caryatid. Presumably. Hexdrinker. Okay, fair enough. Let's get the Lingering Souls going, I think. We may end up just sweeping these away, but this pressures Planeswalkers. Like if they play Garruk Wildspeaker or something, then we'll want to have some spirits in the air. They just play Toski and pass. That's very good for us. That means we can take this turn to get Gideon down, which blocks Toski very well. We'll pass. I don't think it's worth it to attack here. We could maybe hit them for 1, but that doesn't really do anything. We definitely don't want to attack with both. And just in case they go like land repeal or something, then we don't want to attack. So now if they send both things at us, we could just quadruple block the Hexdrinker. Then they get to draw 1 card. I think that's worth it. Alternatively, we could just... Okay, they're not actually attacking with the Hexdrinker. Okay, then we definitely just block like this. So... Let's make another dude. This turn we will attack for 2 in the air. And then if they spend their entire turn leveling up the Hexdrinker, I guess that actually would be sort of bad for us. We might be able to race it, though. I don't want to just play a board sweeper this turn, kill 4 of our tokens, and just the Hex Drinker. I think we can race this situation, or like make them commit more stuff into it at least. Because if we cycle the Shark Typhoon, then we can attack back for 9 damage. They're on the 2-turn clock. So we can race the Hex Drinker pretty easily. They almost have to go at our Gideon here. So block here again. This Toski has not done too much. Cycle Shark Typhoon to make a flyer. Consecrated Sphinx, very good draw. Yeah, we're just going to ignore all these rats in our hand and just play a bunch of stuff to the board and make them play a bunch of stuff to their board. And then if they do that, then we can sweep the board. But if not, then we'll just race them here. We have 9 damage in the air next turn. So even if they leave back some blockers on the ground, we can kill them. Teferi's a good draw. They have 3/6 mana, so they can't play Crater Hoof. They could go Natural Order into Crater Hoof, but we could survive that attack. Yeah, I think we're in really good shape. And green decks don't really have cards that get them out of this sort of position. They attack with both. We block here. Take 6. They do get to draw 1 card. Then we get to draw 2, though. This looks like a Walking Ballista. That's a good card for them to have. Oh, green sun for 5. Do they have Thrag Tusk? If they're just getting Elder Gargaroth, we can bounce it with Teferi and win. Yeah, it's really just Thrag Tusk that would get them out of this. Or like Kitchen Finks could let them survive a turn. But actually not even, because we could just, yeah, that wouldn't do it either. Hex Drinker is good, but if it's all you're doing, that's often not enough. And the opponent really has done nothing other than play this Hex Drinker. I guess we killed the Raphaelos, and they could have done other stuff if we hadn't killed that. But the Toski has done stone cold nothing. And Hex Drinker did kill our Gideon and hit us for 6. But meanwhile, we were developing this massive board and playing a card that draws 1,000,000 cards. Okay, Uro, fair enough. We do get to just keep on drawing cards, though. This seems like it's a winning position for us. We draw Spell Pierce, so we can go land, Bloodchief's Thirst, attack with everything, which should be lethal. Yeah, that's lethal. Alright, sweet. Very smooth start against Mono Green. I'll see you in round 2. Alright, we have our round 2 opponent as we continue to pursue trophy number 30. We are yet to drop a game. Hopefully we can keep that going. Although we lose the die roll against Friendly Shop. Friendly Shop is debating whether to play or draw. They've elected to play, and we have a very good hand. Removal spell into Ashiok. Very strong against creature decks. If they have a counterspell for the Ashiok and they just go like Island go, Island go, Island go, that's sort of rough. It'd be even worse if they went Island Ancestral go, but alright, they just play Swamp and pass, that's fine. Spell Pierce would probably be our best draw here. Strip Mine, also very good. Let's just do that. We're going to Strip Mine them in their upkeep, or if they tap it, then we'll just Strip Mine them then. Alright, yeah. Strip Mine was maybe the best draw in our deck. We're a little bit flooded. And, I mean, I guess if they're also flooded, then it's sort of just neutral. But that could be really problematic for them. Concealed Courtyard, okay. Still looking for any 1-mana interactive spell. Spell Pierce or Mana Tide being the best 2. Black-white could be a couple different things. It could be Reanimator, which would be a bad matchup because we're light on counter magic. Although we have okay answers to the reanimation cards. And then it also could be like black-white aggro, which would be great. Shriekmo might not be amazing, but we have a lot of cheap removal spells. We have board sweepers. I think we could beat that sort of aggro deck pretty easily. They just pass, alright. Can we draw a spell? We can draw a spell. Alright, let's play this and pass. Planning on grabbing Tundra. I'm going to crack here because I think Tundra is a below average draw in our deck. Although we could also just get Watery Grave. No, let's get the Tundra. We have a lot more white than black in our deck, even though our hand has a lot of black spells. Shark Typhoon, pretty good draw, but we're going to play Ashiok this turn. They might just go Hero's Downfall at the end of the turn, which would be a little bit sad, but we're not really going to... Like, that'll always be good against our Ashiok. We hit Karmic Guide, Grizzlebrand. Okay, so, and Teferi. Wow. So their Esper Reanimator looks like... Could be a scary matchup. We're doing similar things, but they just have, like, a more powerful, proactive plan. But Bribery is insane against them. And we hit some of their key cards. Those 3 cards are all very good. There's the Colonnade, so they have their blue mana now. Lingering Souls. I think I'd rather cycle Shark Typhoon than play Lingering Souls here. Massacre Worm, Memory Deluge Path. Wow, we've hit strictly gas out of their deck so far. Another reason to use the Shark... Well, yeah, I think it's just better overall. We're constrained on blue mana, and it can help us to find double blue mana. So I think cycling Shark Typhoon does make sense here. The counter-argument is that the Shark will be bigger if we wait, whereas the Souls will always be the same size. But I still think this is worth it. I want to be able to cast Bribery as soon as possible. Whether we actually cast it or not, like, we're not just going to jam it into their open mana, probably. But it'll be nice to have a window where, like, if they tap out for something, then we can play Bribery. And that's more likely to happen if we cycle Shark Typhoon and find a blue source. We could put Massacre Worm into play if we really wanted to, but I don't think that's worth it. Okay, Liliana, that's fine. I might just put the Massacre Worm into play now. Kills their dude, puts a thing onto the board. We'll see what they mill. Oh no, Archon of Cruelty. That is bad. Hopefully they can't bring that back. Actually, they can with the Liliana. Yeah, that's just really, really bad for us. Can we find an answer? Not there. Another double blue card, in fact, is the opposite of an answer. Then Oust. Well, okay. I think we go put Massacre Worm into play and then play and flashback Lingering Souls. Just put max stuff on the board. This gives us pretty good insulation against Archon of Cruelty. Like, we can just sack one of the souls, and that doesn't really matter. And then we can kill the Archon or put it into their library with Oust. So, Lingering Souls and Flashback Souls. And then we'll hit the Liliana for 2 and pass turn. I guess if they can put the Massacre Worm into play, that would be really bad. If they have, like, kill spell plus reanimation spell. Yeah, that would be quite bad. We wouldn't just die, but we would take 10 off of the trigger, and it would wipe our board. They wouldn't be able to get Archon down then. I guess if the real worst case scenario would be, like Dismember into Living End. And that would probably just win, but... like, we can't play around things too cautiously. They plus Liliana instead of bringing back the Archon. Very interesting. Recurring Nightmare, sack the zombie, bring back Archon. Not too much of a problem. I mean, they do get to draw a card, and they have a lot of cards in hand, but the Archon ability is much more devastating than it is now. So we'll sack the Spirit, and I think just discard Memory Deluge. Kitesail Freebooter. Okay, good thing we have multiple answers here. So whichever one we take, we can, like, say they take Bloodchief Service, we'll oust the Kitesail Freebooter. Oh, they take the Bribery. All right, that's fine. I think we want to oust the Archon rather than the Kitesail Freebooter because I don't really want the Archon to be in the graveyard. Ooh, that's actually just better. Yeah, let's just go Council's Judgment, exile the Archon, so it's gone for good. Then oust the Kitesail Freebooter, kill Liliana, and plus Ashiok. Exile this. And then I guess we could either oust or Bloodchief Thirst this Kitesail Freebooter. And if we oust it, it's going to get eaten by Ashiok. I think I'd rather use the Bloodchief's... Actually, no, let's use the oust and save the Bloodchief's Thirst because it can deal with the Planeswalker. Yeah, that seems good. So oust this. Then we plus the Ashiok on them, hit the Liliana for 5, and swing the Massacre Worm at them. And we're pressuring them in multiple different dimensions. Entomb, Memory Jar. Wow, we're only hitting spells. They're going to have so many lands in their deck. So we'll attack everything at Liliana and then undo and send the Massacre Worm at them. So 5, 6, 7 lands are accounted for. So they probably have at least 9, probably 10 lands left in the remaining hand plus library. If they draw land, they can animate Colonnade to kill our Ashiok, but that's not a threat. Like, we'll win that race very easily. Bazaar of Baghdad, okay. We haven't seen any actual reanimation spells so far, other than Liliana. But presumably they do have them if they're playing multiple reanimation targets. Ooh, Elishnorn. That is pretty good against our tokens. Fair enough, fair enough. Let's just evoke Shriekmaw to kill this, I think. Vindicate. Okay, yeah, so let's start with Evoke Shriekmaw. It's going to immediately die, so there's no reason to not evoke it. Like, if we hardcast it, it will just go to the graveyard either way. So kill this. Then I think I like putting Kitesail Freebooter into play to take a look at their hand. And then, based on their hand, decide whether or not we want to Vindicate their Celestial Colonnade. Ashiok is putting work this game. Okay. Corpse Dance isn't that problematic. Recurring Nightmare is probably the best card here. But they can just, if we take the Recurring Nightmare, they can just play Solitude. So I think we just take the Solitude then. But then they Corpse Dance. Actually, this could be a little tough. Because then they can Corpse Dance to bring back Elishnorn, which would kill our Kitesail Freebooter. Oh, wait, no, we can't take the Solitude. We can only take Corpse Dance or Recurring Nightmare. Okay, let's take the Recurring Nightmare then. And I think I will Vindicate their land here to just slow them down. I don't want them to be able, like, that means that they can't play and kick the corpse dance. Yeah, let's hit this. And then we will attack them for 6 with the Massacre Worm and pass. A little unfortunate that we've gone through 17 cards and still only hit 1 blue source. I would love to be able to fire off this bribery. So this puts them down to 8. If they do Corpse Dance back the Elishnorn, they can kill our Kitesail Freebooter and our Ashiok. But then we can attack them down to 2. And if we can kill a creature from that point, then they just die. They hit Plane, so they could just go cast Solitude. Alright, they do Solitude, probably killing the Massacre Worm. We go to 22. But then they're really running out of cards in the library. Can we draw a blue source? Basic Island, please. And then if not, we can play and kick the Bloodchief's Thirst and kill the Solitude that way. We've exiled a lot of their best top end. Grizzlebrand, Archon of Cruelty, and Massacre Worm are all gone for good. Not a very good draw in the slightest. That's plus. Jace Fringe Prodigy and some other stuff that doesn't matter. Okay, so this is sort of interesting. They have Corpse Dance. They can bring back the Elishnorn, kill our Kitesail Freebooter, and kill our Ashiok. And there's not much we can do about it. We could play... No, if we kill the Solitude, then Corpse Dance brings back Solitude. That still does the exact same thing. So I think we will just kill this, and then they're sort of forced to use the Corpse Dance. Do we attack? I guess so. We can't block, really. Yeah, we'll attack for 1. Pass turn. They can play and kick, or play and buy back Corpse Dance to bring back Solitude and kill both of these things. And then they also get their Recurring Nightmare back into their hand. But they only have 6 cards in their library, and we have a decent hand still. We're at 22. So I think we're in good shape, although we'd be in much better shape if we can ever find a second blue source. They can keep on playing Corpse Dance every single turn. Bring back Elishnorn, then bring back Rotting Regisaur, and that's fine, but I think we can beat that. Yep, they do go for the Corpse Dance. No surprise there. I wish we had Mana Tithe. They exile this. We go to 23. Then they kill our Ashiok. But Ashiok has put in some good work. He's put multiple creatures onto the board for us and exiled a lot of their library, including some of their really key cards. So now they go to discard, or to the end of their turn, and this gets exiled. Now we draw blue source. Blue source. If we don't draw blue source, do we just play Gideon and plus? I think so. Making a token does nothing against the Corpse Dance that we know that they have in hand. And if we plus, then Gideon survives Elishnorn hit. Okay, we do draw the blue source. So I think I just want to play the bribery then. They only have 6 cards in library, so there's a chance this doesn't hit. But the upside is very high if we do hit anything, and it also their library is literally nothing, just 1 sword, so that's fine. Not the best bribery there, but we don't have that much to worry about if their library is that weak. I don't think they'll be able to kill us in time. Like, they could play Mentor, I don't think that does it, though. Also, if we ever draw a land, we can flashback Memory Deluge. Yeah, that was a good play. They needed to do that. Just playing buyback on corpse stats every turn would not do it. Whoa, super aggressive. I don't think that's a good play at all. They're down to 3 cards in library now. And we just saw their library. We know how few good things they have. I guess they wanted to flashback souls. Okay, this is actually... Oh, they discarded corpse dance. Weird. I would have thought that would have been like one of their best cards because they want to play it with the Elishnorn. We still have 2 board sweepers in our deck. Okay, that should that should seal the deal, I think. Let's play this. Pass turn. They are down to 2 cards in library now. We still have 20 cards in library. Alright, fair enough. I respect it. Maybe... no Eldrazi, so they do not shuffle in their graveyard. Even if they did, this graveyard is pretty bad. It's mostly lands. Land pass, holding up Memory Deluge. And they die on their draw step. Alright, how do we want to sideboard here? Esper Reanimator. We did not take the Relic of Progenitus, unfortunately. Honestly, most of our sideboard looks pretty bad. I don't think we bring in anything. We could... Actually, maybe we bring in Sun Gold Sentinel. That could be fine. I like all of this stuff. I like the board sweepers. Lingering Souls is probably not worth it. It's bad against Elishnorn and Massacre Worm. Shriekmaw is not that good. It hits Elishnorn, but that's basically it. Bribery is, of course, amazing. Lyra's fine. Hullbreaker Horror is interesting. It can bounce things. What is the last card that we want here? Maybe just Thraben Inspector, actually. Yeah, I think I like that. It's not an amazing card, but it's good against Archon of Cruelty. And it's decent for just, like, pressuring stuff like Teferi Time Raveler. And it's a cantrip in the late game. The ceiling is... Or the floor is very high for a card like Thraben Inspector. I think I will begrudgingly keep this hand. We have all our colors and we have lands and spells. We don't have double blue or double white. But I think turn 2 Sun Gold Sentinel is a reasonable play. If we draw another white source, we have Gideon. It's not a great hand, but I think it is worth keeping. Fumigate, not a bad draw. Although we do need to find a non-swamp land at some point. Alright, at least that gives us Consecrated Sphinx, but we do need white mana. So I'm just going to play this here. We could wait and try and snipe something immediately, but this is, pressure their life total and use our mana efficiently. If they go land to fairy bounce this, that's a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world still. Uh-oh, looks like it will be that. Oh, Rotting Regisaur, okay. Bloodchief's Thirst, pretty good draw. Play this tapped and pass. And now if they just put Grizzlebrand into play or something this turn, we'll lose. But if they don't do something big this turn, we can Bloodchief's Thirst, the Rotting Regisaur, and attack and exile whatever they discard for the Sun Gold Sentinel. Oh, jeez. Well, GG. That was not much of a game there. They are playing Emrakul. That's good to know about. We don't really have much to deal with that, unfortunately. Lingering Souls is better against that specifically. Maybe we do bring in Lingering Souls over Fumigate on the play. Yeah, that seems fine. We'll run it like this. So, Corpse Dance Emrakul. That's a tough one. A real doozy. Good hand. We can keep it. I believe we do have a black-white land to get with the Marsh Flats. Having bribery is excellent, of course. And Mana Tithe is good interaction. We can go turn 2, hold up Mana Tithe, and then if they don't play anything we need to counter, play or crack the clue. So we grab Scrubland and play the Inspector. We're playing 18 lands, so hopefully we can find some more. That is 3 gone, but we have 15 lands left out of the next 32. Hoping to hit 1 in the next 3 at least. Turn 1 Bazaar. Alright. Good draw. We haven't seen any animate dead type stuff. Okay, Magic Worm in the yard. That's not too bad. I'd rather that not come into play, but that's not one that ends the game immediately. Alright, end turn. Let's crack the clue. Alright, good draws. I think we've just Vindicate their Swamp here, actually. This isn't a play I normally like to make, but in this case, when we have Mana Tithe and we have actual pressure, like getting into bribery the next 2 turns potentially, I think this is correct. Okay, so they Vampire Tutor for a land, or sorry, for whatever they want, but they're down to 1 land, so like maybe they have Reanimate in their deck and they can put Magical Realm into play, but they definitely can't hit us with an Emrakul next turn. And then next turn, we might just need to hold up Mana Tithe. Probably should just hold up Mana Tithe rather than play the Gideon. We can just cycle the Shark Typhoon for 1 and then hold up Mana Tithe. And then the following turn, we can play Bribery and try and mess them up in some way with that. Take 1. They don't use the Bazaar end of turn. That's interesting. My guess is they just pass here, yeah. Now land would be good. Interactive spell like Spell Pierce would be good. Alright, Tundra, sure, that's a good one. Let's play land, hit for 1 and pass. Okay, so are we worried about them having Corpse Dance for Emrakul next turn? Yes. I guess we just go Mana Tithe and play, just like, go a little bit slower. Ooh, Strip Mine. No, okay, wow, those are 2 just incredible draws. So let's play Teferi. This shuts down the Corpse Dance Emrakul combo. They can still reanimate Massacre Worm, but that's not nearly as bad. Then we go Strip Mine, blow up your Swamp. We're playing Ponza over here. And then we could either bounce Thraben Inspector, but I think I'd rather just plus Teferi, and then next turn we can bounce Thraben Inspector if we want to. Attack for 3 and pass. So we've blown up 2 lands and we have Mana Tithe available. That's pretty disgusting, especially against a turn 1 Bazaar. You almost never want to play Bazaar on turn 1. I think that was probably, like, it's gone more poorly than anticipated, because obviously you don't get Strip Mined and Vindicated most games, but still, like, you're just denying yourself a mana every single turn for the rest of the game when you do this. That can be right if you're going, like, for the turn 2 Reanimate and you just want to dig for something, but that's, like, yeah, in general, that's a play you want to avoid. They discard Entomb, Lingering Souls, Solitude, okay. Flashback, Lingering Souls. I think we just let this resolve. Alright, now we're actually going to go for the instant speed bribery, I think. I think that's better than just playing it or playing Gideon or something here. We'll swing for 1. If they want to trade Thraben Inspector for one of the Spirit, that's fine. And then we hold up Mana Tithe, and then assuming they don't do anything, we desperately need to Mana Tithe, then we can go end of turn bribery. And immediately get in an attack with whatever we get. We also could have gotten Elishnorn there and then hit them for, what, 7? And killed both of their things, but I think this is better. They can Corpse Dance Solitude if they want to. That doesn't do much. Alright, they just passed. So we go end of turn Bribery, and this will probably draw a concession. Even if they don't have Emrakul, we're in really good shape, but they might have Empire Tutor for the Emrakul if they had the Shallow Grave in hand. Oh, they just concede. Alright, well, pretty good. We take down Esper Reanimator. We are 2-0. I'll see you in the finals. Alright, we have our finals opponent, hoping to secure trophy number 30. We are on the play with an unbelievably good hand. Wow, we have turn 3, turn 2 Strix into turn 3 Consecrated Sphinx. Oh wait, we don't have double blue yet. Still an easy keep, but we're hoping to hit a blue source off of our first draw step plus the first 2 draw steps plus the Baleful Strix. Let's go Island Mana Vault, pass. Beaumont Courier. Alright, first time playing an aggressive deck here. I think we should have a decent aggressive matchup. Especially if we get Slam Consecrated Sphinx on turn 3. Red decks don't have great ways to deal with 6 toughness creatures. Okay, we'll play the Strix. And pass. Elspeth Conqueror's Death was an okay draw. Nice, that's what we needed. I will very happily make this trade if they offer it. If they play Burn Spell and the Baleful Strix, I'm very happy about that too. Okay. Now we need to hope they don't have a way to kill our Mana Vault. If they just go like Eidolon the Great Revel though, we're in great shape. Magda, even better. Memory Deluge wasn't really what we were looking for, but this is still just an obscenely good setup. We already just got a 2-for-1. Now we get an instant 3-for-1, even if they kill this, and then they probably can't kill this. Phyrexian Metamorph. Fair enough. That's actually pretty annoying. I think we're going to say no to these. We don't want to let both players draw a bunch of cards. Yeah, that is annoying. We just need to go land Wrath here. Let's attack first, just in case. And then we can play Elspeth Conqueror's Death on their next threat, which will rebuy our Consecrated Sphinx eventually. But, I mean, yeah, this was a worst-case scenario. Phyrexian Metamorph is like the one thing they could have here that would actually give them a chance. And that was just a terrible exchange for us. We each drew 2 cards, and then we just sweep the board and kill our own thing. I would much rather us both not have drawn those 2 cards. So I wish we hadn't even played the Consecrated Sphinx now. And we're just going to be taking 1 a turn from this Mana Vault. So that is quite unfortunate. This card is not a card that you want to play in red decks in general, but it worked out for them here. Season Pyro, okay. Jeez. Okay, that was a solid turn. They put 5 dudes onto the board. I think we do play the... This isn't the best target for Elspeth Conqueror's Death, but I think it is better than just playing Memory Deluge and passing. Among other things, in 2 turns it can bring back the Consecrated Sphinx. Post-board, things get even better. We can bring in Lyra. We can bring in Inspector. We can bring in potentially Seasoned Hallowblade. I think we're favored in game 1, but then we'll be drastically ahead in games 2 and 3. But we are probably going to lose this one because of the that Metamorph. Okay, Hazoret is a problem. We have a couple answers to it, and they can't attack with it this turn, but that is a good card against us. I guess, are we just dead now? We're not dead on board. We go to 3 here, but we're essentially dead. I guess if we draw Fumigate, we could survive. We go to 2 here. Alright, dead. Well, that's too bad. Turn 2, Baleful Strix. Turn 3, Consecrated Sphinx. Seems like it should be a pretty good line, but Phyrexian Metamorph really punished us. How do we want to change now? I don't think I like Bribery very much. They might have a dragon, but I'd much rather have this as our 5-drop. Seasoned Hellblade is a good blocker. Thraven Inspector is definitely a card we want. We could cut Ashiok. We could cut one of the blue card draw spells. We could cut Strip Mine. You have to go like... Actually, no, they have some manlands, though. Let's cut the Memory Deluge. Yeah, I think that seems fine. And then we made our deck a little bit less blue and a little more white, so we'll cut an island and add a plains, and then run it like this. And then on the draw, I think I will bring maybe Seasoned Hellblade in for a land. On the play here, very good hand. The perfect mana base and some nice cheap interaction. I will Mana Tithe any 1-drop here. I think literally any 1-drop. Not the best 1-drop, but I think it is still worth it to tithe this. Among other things, this can pressure the Teferi. Oh. Alright, Island go. I don't like that they keep on drawing Mox. Moxen are scary. Hopefully they tap out for a Rampaging Ferocidon or something like that. Some 3-mana thing that we can bounce easily with Teferi. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Well, that's medium. We can bounce that, then they can replay it and kill Teferi. But if they miss their land drop, this is good for us. Okay, they do miss their land. So yeah, let's just bounce this. Good tempo play. Could also play Lingering Souls, but I think I'd rather do this. If they spend their entire turn replaying that next turn, we're very happy. We can play Gideon, and we'll be very far ahead pretty quickly. They do hit their land drop this turn. Firebolt plus Bloodthirsty Adversary. Hit us for 2. Then we play Gideon and make a knight. If they wasteland us, that's good. That's a win for us. So I think I will play this land. This gives us double blue and whatnot. And yeah, I think that's better than playing plains. Make a knight and pass turn. Now they would need 2 burn spells to be able to kill the Gideon. 1 to kill the knight and then 1 to hit the Gideon. I guess if they went like Monastery Swiftbeer into Bolt the Knight, that would be a little bit annoying. But I still think we would be ahead. And then if they have anything less than that, we're very ahead. Next turn we can play in Flashback Souls to put a ton of blockers onto the board. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. I mean, yeah, this is why this card is not good in general in red decks. It's only good when you're copying really expensive things, but red decks don't play very expensive things. Oh, okay, this is... I mean, they have no lands. I don't know what their plan is here. We'll block. We're still at 14. Pretty healthy life total. We draw Watergrave, go play Lingering Souls, flashback Lingering Souls. Now this can eat up the Bloodthirsty Adversary pretty much no matter what. Then Factor Fiction can give us some more gas. I'm just going to quadruple block. I don't want to get blown out by a burn spell. Not that it would even be really getting blown out if we were to just double block it, but yeah, let's block like this. Direfleet, Daredevil, Exile, Mana Tithe. Alright, sure. Yeah, I will oust this. I don't care about the Darkly Daredevil that much, but it shuts down the draw step because this is just a brick, basically. I guess if they draw land, they can oust one of our spirits, and then you got me. Let's hit for 2 and pass with Fact or Fiction end of turn. What do we want the most here? We should probably just take the Ashiok since it establishes some sort of a clock. Oh, yeah, definitely taking Ashiok. This makes no sense. Like, if you're that afraid of us exiling something, you still gave us something to exile as your creature, or whatever you play. So Ashiok plus, then we'll attack with 1 spirit and leave the other one back. To guard against a potential Layla or something like that. Nice hit, nice to get rid of Koth. We also just get to see more of their deck. They should probably just concede. I mean, I guess they really want to get the trophy, but I think it's actually, like, probably well under 1% that they can win. And all this does is let us see more of their deck so we know what to play around. Okay, yep. So, on the draw for game 3, obviously makes things a little harder. Strip Mine would have been good that game, but I think in general on the draw, that's not where we want to be. So let's make this exchange. Seasoned Hellblade is a pretty good blocker. I don't think we want the Bribery still. Deluge is a little slow. Don't need Beaumont. Yeah, let's run like this. I think 17 lands on the draw is totally fine. We haven't seen that much of their stuff attacking our mana base. Like, we haven't seen their Wasteland or Strip Mine. This should be a pretty good matchup. We have 7 1-mana plays that are all incredibly good against them. We have Lyra, we have 2 board sweepers. Their absolute perfect draws could, like, if we both have a perfect draw, I think we win. We just have, like, an interactive spell for all of their early plays. And if we both stumble, we also win, because in the later game when we both have more lands, we have much better top deck. So it's really just, they have a perfect draw and we stumble, that would make us lose. Or if we have to mulligan into Oblivion. So hopefully we can get a keepable 7. Alright, great hand. Turn 1 interactive spell, turn 2 interactive spell, turn 3 Ashiok. Opponent keeps 7 as well. Mana Vault. Interesting draw. We could play turn 2 Ashiok off of Mana Vault. I don't think that's worth it, though. Let's just go Land Oust. Now, if they play Magda or something on turn 2, we can just Shriekmaw, and that's totally fine. Dragon's Rage Chandler, are they going to miss their land drop? Oh, punt. They got just destroyed by this, wow. Because now they're going to draw Beaumont Courier, which is another brick. Do we want to Shriekmaw this or Bloodchief's Thirst? I think I'm just going to go Bloodchief's Thirst plus Mana Vault here. Because there's a good chance we just want to hardcast Shriekmaw this game. We could even just not kill this and just let them untap with it, but I think I would rather keep the board as clean as possible if we're going to try and play an Ashiok soon. So they go Beaumont Courier attack for 1 and pass. Then we play Ashiok. And this Ashiok can eat through their deck pretty quickly if they're just sitting back. Plus, hit 3 creatures. Pyromancer, Bloodthirsty Adversary, and Rabblemaster. Yeah. Okay, those are really good. We can put potentially any of those are potential options to put in play next. Actually, not red. No, we don't have red mana, so Bloodthirsty Adversary is not good for us. But We could just put in one of the other guys. They do draw their land here. Where that? Okay, that's not that bad. Now, do we want to put Rabble Master into play or just keep on plussing the Ashiok? They attacked us? Very strange. Okay, I think I'm just going to put Seasoned Pyromancer into play, actually, and cycle through some of these lands. We could do Shriekmaw also, but I think I'd rather just do 2 lands. Okay, let's play the Strix. Really good draw. Then we'll play this tapped and pass turn. They can probably Burn Spell or Ashiok here, but it's done some good work for us. Getting that Seasoned Pyromancer into play and helping us to draw towards some action was very important. We'll take Visionary. Sure, we can just kill that with the Shriekmaw. Yet another land. Alright, I mean, that's fine here. And then I will attack for 2 with the Seasoned Pyromancer. Leaving back 2 good blockers. And then next turn we have Consecrated Sphinx. Do we even play it, though? We probably do play it. I think them playing Metamorph, copying our Sphinx is one of the main ways they get back into this. But I think it's still worth it to play the Sphinx here. It's not like we're ahead on... Like, if we had a Planeswalker, maybe we could afford to just sit back, but we don't. Okay, they're playing their Metamorph this turn. Nice. So they can copy Shriekmaw to kill Pyromancer, or Pyromancer to just draw 2. Yeah, looks like they go with that. Totally fine. And then we just go land Consecrated Sphinx, and their one good answer is gone. That's another good draw, but we're definitely playing the Sphinx here. And then we're just going to pass, no need to attack here. We just want to preserve our life total and accumulate advantage. Alright, Lingering Souls was an excellent pickup. Although they could have Thundermaw Hellkite. That's one of the scariest cards here. Inspiring Vantage. Interesting. I wonder if they have... Yeah, I guess this is for Wear Tear. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Okay, that's pretty good. They can oust the Seasoned Pyromancer, and then they'll draw it soon. They could also just oust our Consecrated Sphinx. Okay, sure. They don't have any attacks, though. They could send in the Beaumont to draw 3 if they want, to discard their 1 card and draw 3. And then on our turn, we can play Teferi and bounce our own Baleful Strix to draw 2 cards. But I think it's better to just plus. Okay, them attacking here is good for us. I think the board becoming cleaner favors the player that isn't playing Hellrider for sure. If we put the Seasoned Pyromancer in the graveyard, they can bring it back. So I think we just block like this. Or sorry, they can't bring it back, but they can make 2 1/1s, which isn't that big of a deal, but there's no reason to allow them to do that. This is not a deck that I'm worried about bouncing the Pyromancer. I think this is pretty solidly going to stay under our control. If we were worried about cards like Flicker Wisp, Repeal, Teferi, then we would try and trade this off as soon as possible when we can do it in a safe way. Okay, they cracked the Beaumont, discarding Fire Blast. Interesting, so they were debating if they wanted to cast the Fire Blast or not, and they decided not to. Kill the Pyromancer, sure. So let's, Spell Pierce is probably not a good draw. Let's go land to Fairy, bounce your Elemental, and then Lingering Souls to chump block the Direfleet Daredevil. And then at that point, do we want to attack for 3? No, I think it's better to leave this back to block the Mishra's Factory. Or the Mishra's Work. Yeah, the Mishra's Factory. Again, this is not a race at all. It's a war of attrition. We just want to accumulate a bunch of advantage, get a bunch of removal spells, find Lyra, and then start attacking. Chip damage here and there is not what this game is going to come down to, almost definitely. If they had a Sulfuric Vortex in play, then that would change things, but they don't. Okay, that's fine. They have 1 card. We're at 20. We have Consecrated Sphinx. They can flashback Firebolt and Shriekmaw, and then we can Spell Pierce it. Okay, they do go for the Animate. Totally happy with this trade. So block here and take 2. Sure. Alright. We're just going to play a Consecrated Sphinx and pass. And I'm just going to leave all of these things back to block. It's really Thundermaw that would be the problem here. Alright, there we go. Got trophy number 30. That feels good. Let's pull up the deck list. So immediately after we got the trophy, the client crashed. So we cannot view the deck in the normal way. But this was our deck, and it was really sweet. We got the trophy, so the result was good. We had a lot of cheap interaction, which is key. 3 1-mana removal spells, 2 1-mana counter spells, and Mana Vault. Then we had a couple really cheap Planeswalkers that are good. Teferi, Ashiok, and Gideon can all take over a game. 2 board sweepers, some good card draw to accelerate into with our Mana Vault. So just a really good deck all around. Also a pretty good mana base. No man lands, but Strip Mine was good and pretty good fixing. So yeah, I mean I think Esper is maybe my favorite color combination now. At least it's the one I've had the most success with this Vintage Cube season. It's definitely really strong. The colors complement each other very well. So that's definitely a good lane to be in if it's open. And this is trophy number 30, which is pretty fun. We're now 2nd on the leaderboard, so pretty far behind Team J-Bro. I don't know if we'll be able to catch him, but hopefully we can separate some distance above third place and continue to do well. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.